Suboxone, really? What's going on here? I thought you were sober. It's changed my life. What are you talking about? I just want the best for you, bro. I hate to see you down bad like this. All right, I don't know what you're talking about. I've been clean from substances. Look. I get it. I know it's hard to overdose with this one, but you're replacing the opiate with another opiate. That's like me trying to get off a Twix and replacing it with a Snickers. It just doesn't make sense. I had surgery, and I struggled to get off those pain meds. You remember how things were for me. This is progress. You should know that. Well, okay. I no longer have cravings for those pills. Plus, I have my life back. And on top of that, a real doctor prescribed these meds to me. Oh, so a doctor prescribed this for you? Yes, a real doctor. All right. I hope you're okay. If you need me, just let me know, all right? Yeah, I'm good. I really appreciate the concern, but I'm great. I'm good right now.
Is anyone else hyper aware of everything that happens in every social setting that you're in ever? I always pick up on a slight vibe change. I always notice when someone is more attentive towards other people than they are to me. I notice when someone speaks to me a little bit differently than they do to other people, or when someone is constantly feeling like they need to be heard over other people. I'm just aware of every single thing that happens in any social.
I don't know if this girl is neurodivergent, but I will say that being attentive to every single thing in a social situation could be a sign of trauma. We call this sort of thing hypervigilance. And hypervigilance is one of the main things that you see with PTSD, but it's not just specific to PTSD. It can be for CPTSD, which is complex PTSD, which is trauma, sustained over time, starting from your formative years up until where you are today, and just trauma in general. When you're neurodivergent, and I don't know if this girl's neurodivergent, but when you are neurodivergent, a big part of your childhood, unfortunately, is trauma. And trauma doesn't have to be that something happened to you. Trauma could be that things didn't happen for you. Maybe you didn't get invited to birthday parties. Maybe people used to hang out at the lunch table, and then when you would sit down, they'd laugh at you, or they'd become quiet. Or maybe you just felt like you were outsider and you were never included in things. When you go through trauma during these formative years, you're going to be hyper vigilant and you're going to pay attention to things in social situations. And a lot of times you'll be able to pick up on people who are probably going through what you went through. Like you'll be hyper empathetic. So if somebody is being bullied somewhere, or if somebody's being left out, it's going to hit you a little harder. You probably will feel for that person. And you might carry that hurt and that pain with you throughout your day. Meaning that you may have left the social situation, but 5 hours later you're thinking to yourself like, oh, I hope that guy that was sitting outside by himself, I hope he's okay. I hope that girl who was laughing at the lunch table, but it looked like she was laughing kind of quietly to herself, I hope she's all right. And when you're neurodivergent, one of the things about empathy is that you give a lot of empathy and you care a lot. And oftentimes what you do is what you wish you would have had when you were a kid, or what you wish you had now, depending on what your situation looks like now. But I say all that to say that being mindful of everything in a social situation is draining. It's draining. Being a nice and good person in general is draining. I'm not saying that you shouldn't be a nice person or a kind person, but it does drain you, because it's gonna come at a cost to be so attentive all the time and be tuned into what is going on socially. So a neurotypical person, after a while, they kind of know how things work socially. They don't have to mask as much. They probably still do mask, but they don't have to mask as much. So they can walk into social situations and, they'll check out the place, they'll check out the vibe. And after a while, they're like, all right, cool. I know what's going on here. The neurodivergent person will walk into that same social situation, but instead of you just checking out the vibe and make sure that everything is okay, you check out the vibe, but then you're going to fixate on why this certain person gave you a dirty look when you walked into the party. You're going to think to yourself, okay, why was he looking at me like that? That's weird. Nobody else has that type of look. Why is his affect and demeanor like that? Okay, interesting. Then you're going to walk through the social situation and you're gonna be looking at other people. Okay, like why are the people over there laughing? Why did that girl leave and then she went to go talk to that guy who had that? It's just a lot to keep up with, and it is draining. And it's, keep in mind, we had to learn how things operated at a social level so we can know how to fit in. But even beyond the masking, having to keep up with the social rules and having to see what's going on around you, it can be quite draining. So you don't have to get rid of all this. I think it can be a beautiful thing when you are, in tune with social situations to the point where you can pick up on the fact that somebody's not feeling comfortable, because you can advocate for that person and you can be the person that you wish you had when you're younger. At the same time, I do think that it is helpful to give yourself some grace, and when you know that you're safe in a situation, to allow yourself, if possible, allow your brain to just be in the present moment and try not to pick up on everybody's hurt and everybody's pain, because what do we know? We know that we can't carry everybody's crosses. We can't fix every single thing for everybody. And sometimes we escape our problems, or we attempt to escape our problems by latching onto others and wondering what they're doing and wondering what their story is and trying to, fix them. And that could be an attempt to, fix the younger version of you. But, and that's fine. You don't have to not do that. But just make sure to give yourself some grace, because it's draining and unsustainable to have to be so locked in on every single detail socially.